Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the south side as the Blue Moon Drake, we're at fyran. Spawn on the north side as the Amber Blossom? Yeah, Amber Blossom Andy. We have Charlie underscore. So let's go and get started. This map appears to be a 3-base map. One airport and a bit forward. And if there's a Hashi player, he could pull out pipe runners from the city and actually use the pipes. But then again, Hachi is like generally the most broken C of the game, usually accompanied by Sensei. This is also a high funds game, I just realized. Double tank, got an APC and tank. Comm towers could be starting captured. Let's skip this comm tower for now. Drake can start capturing this comm tower. Artillery, tank, and infantry. And now Drake has just 8 infantry and 4 tanks. Well, Andy has a bit more of a mixed force. Double tank and anti-air by Drake. And Andy goes for early bomber. And the thing as well, when it comes to his bombers, he has his power and superpower to repair any damage that may sustain. So this could be quite fun. Got another anti-air, infantry, and tank. Neo tank, double infantry. You have now a fighter deployed out by Drake to intercept the bomber. Got another Neo tank. Drake goes for his own Neo tank now. Try and flip this property and capture these 2 properties in the center, which are despicably neutral. Does take out that regular tank there. And he does have an anti-air out of range, of course, the fighter. But this also can be interrupted by this infantry. Does interrupt with the anti-air, which may not be a great idea, honestly. With the anti-air here, it can be hit by a tank, or maybe 2 tanks. And he needs anti-air perhaps to hit that fighter. Another Neo tank, infantry, and anti-air. Hits the anti-air, takes out the anti-air. Neo tank, double infantry, not Neo tank, bomber, double infantry, and a regular tank. Does get some good shots there. This Neo tank may be in range, at least with a superpower, it will be in range. And right now, Drake is lacking anti-air to hit that bomber. This fighter of his, however, is in very close range to that bomber. Of course, it has minus 30% firepower with 2 comm towers, so approximately minus 10%. Oh, tsunami. He may be trying to get as much power out of his power and superpower, since Andy can simply just repair up the damage. And this, of course, allowed him with the fuel drain, so maybe he's just going to try to just do a fuel bleed strategy rather than trying to do a damage strategy. Since he's fighting against Andy, that's probably the best call. Andy now has hyper upgrade. If he needs extra firepower and golden moon range to go for hyper upgrade, maybe better go for, at this point in time, hyper repair. The fighter's in range in the fighters, so maybe have the fighter engage the fighter, then pop hyper repair? Hyper upgrade. Maybe the anti-air needed that 1 extra range there. Fighter does take out the fighter. Neo tank takes out tank. Neo tank takes out tank. Infantry captures the property. Granted, his infantry also get +1 movement range, which is actually a little bit unique. Because honestly, most super COs have an exception for anything related to infantry. tank, battlecopter, and infantry. And serve 155,000 value versus 123, so about 1 turn advantage. But I see a lot of neo-tanks in range of bombers and neo-tanks. Does double tap that tank there. However, that bomber's now in range of an anti-air and a fighter. I have a feeling the next turn's gonna go very well for Andy. Oh, uses the anti-air to take out infantry in there, down to 15 fuel. Fighter, one-shots the bomber. And artillery gets a good shot there. Neo-tank is neo-tank, neo-tank is neo-tank. If you have a superpower available for Drake, hyper repair can be utilized to help counter it. It may be better just go for tsunami, just do global damage and fuel drain, and those start just spamming out tsunamis rather than trying to save off typhoons. I do think typhoon or tsunamis would be generally better, unless he does want to cause rain. Oh, he does use typhoon either way. Does finish off a neo tank there. It's good. Think he does finish off these tanks. And Andy could pop out a superpower next turn. Maybe have the neo tank strike the neo tank and then repair it up to full. I suppose just striking with artillery, then maybe we'll finish off the neo tank there would be perfect fine. Oh, just pops regular power. Does take the neo tank either way without taking any points of damage. Does go for a mega tank. He also has a missile on the field. It's 150,000. Drake has 111. The battlecopter is fully surrounded. New tank, and infantry. Bomber, infantry, and infantry with another tank. Does look at the anti-air. Battlecopter strikes Neo Tank. Neo Tank strikes regular Neo Tank. Neo Tank hits. Does take out the Neo Tank. It's anti-air twice. It's the infantry unit there. Artillery, infantry, and artillery. Bomber heading down south of the winter. Battlecopter, another mega tank, a pair of infantry as well. Mega tanks are, of course, incredibly slow, but incredibly powerful. I guess since the Neo tanks are not exactly working out for him, he's just going to try to tech up and just start nuking the Neo tanks. Drake goes with his own mega tank, and luckily Andy can just repair up mega tanks if they just take a bit of a beating. Problem is, ammo consumption still be a bit of a problem. When it comes to fuel consumption, this battlecopter has 28 fuel remaining. He drops a capture. So number of properties still despicably neutral, like this city up here, this city here, and this one, of course, here. Hyper upgrades now available. Does he need the +1 movement range? Will he pop the power or will he save onto it? There's an argument applied for both. Does clean up some of those infantry down south. Mega tank takes out the anti-air, giving the battlecopter and bomber a bit more room to breathe. There's a fighter in this region. Missiles here. The missile knows where it's at or knows where it's not. Tsunami activated, getting some nice bleed. Mega tank's getting hit pretty hard. Does take the mega tank there. Quite decisively, I should have mentioned. Okay, the fire's not range the missile. I just remember Days of Ruin, they buffed the missiles at 6 range, which actually makes it very usable. Neo-tank infantry and anti-air. It may be hyper repair or could be hyper upgrade this turn. Just hyper repair to clear global damage. Bomber strikes the Neo-tank. Artillery strikes the Mega Tank, who's on top of his HQ, so it has extra defense star. Another Mega Tank. Infantry and artillery. Fighter does get a good shot there on the bomber. However, the missile appears to be in range of that fighter, so you sack the bomber to get the fighter from the missile. Though then again, that bomber did also take out a Neo-tank, so it's definitely paid for itself. So I think that was overall good positioning there. The bomber was able to strike the Neo-tank, and the missile provides covering, or retaliation. Shot down, has still hyper repair, which could be deployed out this turn. One thing that Drake could do is send a bunch of these tanks into this Mega Tanks to drain its ammo. Bomber, rocket, infantry, and infantry. Andy ends turn of 120 or 172. Drake starts from 126. So Andy has a pretty decent advantage. Also has 42,000 income versus 36. Does take out the missile, though. Then again, there's no. There's one battlecopter left for it to shoot down. Neo-tank splits his way forward, takes out a good number of assets up there. This could be a turn for hyper upgrade. Artillery strikes the Neo-tank, does finish it up. Looks like going to wait a turn there to get stuff in position. Another bomber deployed in the field. Mega tank's going low on fuel, and his ammo can be drained. It's on top of a comm tower, which does not resupply. Here's the battlecopter. Get their 8 years into the Mega Tank. Takes out that Neo Tank there. Hyper upgrades now available. Hits the bomber as well. This is probably a turn for hyper upgrade. If not, at least for hyper repair. It depends if some of this stuff gets in range. Yep, Mega Tank's in range of the Neo Tank. Just hyper repair. Rocket gets a shot there. Mega Tank takes out Neo Tank. Mega Tank takes out Neo Tank. Andy just has so many Mega Tanks in the field. Bomber, infantry, and anti-air. Answer of 247 versus 186, so Drake's about 2 turns behind. Mega Tank gets hit twice, down to 1 health. Does take it out for Mega Tank there. Anti-air strikes the bomber. Of course, hyper repair can give it 2 extra points of health. If it can somehow squeeze out a hyper upgrade, it will go up to 7 health. Another battlecopter, Neo Tank, infantry, and anti-air. Bomb takes out the tank. Mega Tank strikes Mega Tank. This Mega Tank's down to 1 ammo as well. Neo Tank takes out anti-air. Mega Tank takes on Mega Tank. APC, we do have now a fighter as well. Takes on Mega Tank. Both players have the superpower. And looks like he's going to wait and not while superpower. He's going to. Oh, something died there. I think that was a battlecopter, right? Guess it was out of fuel. He's going to wait to his superpower, try to catch his opponent without his superpower activated. But the problem is Andy can wait as well. Andy does activate hyper repair, does give him plenty of power charge to activate another power. Mega Tank hits a Mega Tank. Rocket hits artillery. Tank finishes off. Artillery gets struck by a bomber and a bomber. Neo-tank takes out the anti-air. Neo-tank hits the regular tank. This will be time for power or superpower. It's not going to get any better than this. Does after this full superpower, the rain could slow down his opponent a little bit. Does bomb the Mega Tank, and the Neo Tank gets knocked out. Mega Tank also gets knocked out. Takes out the 2L bomber. 164 versus 157, so 80, so has a slight advantage. Fighter does take out the bomber, and with that power, able to pop the power. Does not take out that Neo Tank. This infantry should be able to take it out. Bomber does not take out the Neo Tank. The extra 10% defense when superpower activated is coming handy. Neo Tank infantry and infantry with another battle copter. Anti-air, Neo-tank, and Neo-tank. Takes out the anti-air, Neo-tank strikes the Neo-tank. Mega tank, tank, and infantry. And once again, Neo-tank does not go down. It's probably close to 1% health. Bomber gets a strike on the Neo-tank, and Neo-tank will fully go down. Tank, tank, and anti-air. Both have similar value, which means Andy still has a full turn ahead with day-to-day income. Neo-tank hits Neo-tank. Fighter does swing around, hits the bomber, hits the infantry unit with artillery. Tank gets double tap, finish off that infantry unit there. Anti-air does manage to find the battle copter. Battle copter heads up north, hit a tank there. Artillery, tank, Neo-tank, and battle copter. With that, he gets enough superpower charge for his Typhoon. Takes out the fighter, battlecopter, tank. Alright, there we go, tank. Superpower is now available for Andy, and does hit the resign button there. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.